Well, things were pretty darn lonely down here again. Xian and Diablo were out fighting this time, so it was only Benimaru and me now. We can win, right? No problems there, no. I didn't see any movements from the Imperial soldiers, but there's a flurry of activity among the leadership, it looks like. That straggler Krishna must have reported on events in the labyrinth. If I were them, and he told me he was the only survivor, I'd be out of there in a hurry. Well, I wouldn't put us in this situation in the first place, but you understand what I mean. His classic fearless smile was on his face. No matter what it is, it never pays to be greedy, huh? Indeed. War and looting go hand in hand, but it's forbidden in our military, at least. We were on our way back to the control center, discussing this, when a possibility occurred to me. Hey, you and I are the only ones here, right? Yes. Well, if there happened to be any enemies still hiding in the labyrinth, they'd never let an opportunity like this go to waste, would they? What do you think of that? Oh, come now. There's no way anyone could time a move so precisely like that. Being paranoid all day would accomplish nothing, so I decided to leave the thought at that. Like, you know. It's not that I doubt Raphael. I just couldn't help but wonder if it overlooks something. Understood. All potentially suspicious subjects have been identified. But what if it's someone I know really well? Like Elan's gang, for example. I trust all of them, so if they ever betrayed me, I'd suffer a whole lot for it. Apart from them, I suppose there were the people I'd gotten to know outside my own government, the assorted visitors who come to stay with us since the Founders Festival. For example, Rimuru. I saw a group of people coming from Labyrinth City. Oh, no way. The guy waving up front was Masayuki, someone I knew well, and he had two others with him, a warrior and a wizard. Jinrai and Bernie, right. I think those were their names. Those two still kinda held a grudge against me, so we hadn't talked much. I sincerely doubt it, but you don't think Masayuki might start targeting me, do you? Oh, no. That's really worrying too much, I would say. Yeah. Benimaru dismissed the concern. I sure didn't want to start suspecting Masayuki. And by the way, hadn't Ghidorah mentioned that Masayuki was the spitting image of Emperor Lidor or something? Nah. It had to just be a goofy coincidence. Understood. After careful examination of the Empire's history and other assorted elements, the chances of the subject Masayuki and Emperor Lidor being the same person are 0%. Right. Of course. Feeling a bit relieved, I called out to the guy, "Hey Masayuki. Something up. Something up. Kind of a lot, man. You naming me an army leader out of nowhere has given me a ton of trouble. Even the vampires were asking me if they could temporarily join and I don't even know what to do with them. And there's just been a huge amount of activity down here, you know. Everyone in the city's starting to ask what's going on. Having so many volunteers at once, Masayuki explained, made it hard to deal with them in any organized fashion. Plus, if Masayuki was trying to trick me, Raphael would have warned me about it long ago. So no point doubting him. Well, most of the volunteers are still staying in the towns they live in, right? Yes, but the city of Rimuru, formerly on the surface, was now evacuated to the dungeon's provisionary floor 101. The sun and stars were as visible as always down there, so a lot of people were surprisingly oblivious to current events. The war was already underway, but some citizens must have thought we were still in a standoff at some distant vista. That sure does sound rough. Yeah, doesn't it? So please, lend us a hand here. Don't worry. This war's gonna be over real soon, so just keep giving him the runaround until then, okay? No, you can't just make it sound easy like that, Rimuru. Masayuki kept complaining, a hangdog look on his face. Then Shuna could pour me some tea, maybe prepare a slice of delicious cake, and all would be well. You're trying to run from me, aren't you, Rimuru? Hahaha. Don't hahaha me. Okay, maybe this was a pointless argument, but I was demonstrating a master class on giving people the runaround. If that's your only business, I need to get back, alright. You're positive the war's going to end soon? I'm hoping to wrap it up today, actually. Well, we haven't done anything, so it hardly even seems real at all, but now you're really fighting. I could empathize with that. That's kind of my ideal, not letting the general public know it all. Pretty much, yeah. So take it easy, okay? With a grin, I did my best to convince Masayuki to see things my way. That ought to solve the problem. Now I duck back inside and enjoy some strawberry shortcake. Whoa, wait a sec. Masayuki's looking out for you, so I've been holding back, but we haven't given up on defeating you, alright. And now you're forgetting all about that and trying to take advantage of him. What kind of a joke is this? Just when I thought the problem was solved, a new one arose. Jinrai, a man I assumed was just along for the ride with Masayuki, chose this moment to pipe up. Aw, come on, that was just a misunderstanding. Take advantage of you. There's no need to make it sound so disgraceful. I attempted to make excuses but wasn't doing a good job at it. I was trying to take advantage of him, after all. But then I received some unexpected backup. Jinrai. That's out of order. Rimuru's working so hard for everybody in town right now. Now Masayuki was trying to appease Jinrai. Thanks, man. I'll let you have some cake later. So that was the end of it. Or so I thought. But life's never that easy. No, Jinrai's right, Masayuki. Heroes and demon lords are fated to clash with each other. So quit holding back forever, and let's just take this guy down as soon as we can. Bernie, usually observing from a step behind, chose this moment to get all worked up. With a sigh, I pondered how I'd calm him down. If you won't do it, Bernie continued as he began casting a spell, then I will. Cut me a break, I thought. Then things got serious. Holy field. You're kidding me, I almost caught myself yelling. That spell was extremely tough to handle, much less solo. Like, was he even serious? Murderous intent detected. The subject Bernie is an enemy. Then I finally realized what was going on. I thought it was impossible. I kept trying to believe that I was worrying too much about it. But the enemy was right here, in front of me, the whole time. And then someone moved even faster than I did. There was a clear, high-pitched ting. It was caused by the collision between Benimaru's sword and Bernie's blade of light. Bernie, what are? You can fight with a sword. Jinrai was evidently surprised. It must have been the first time Bernie wielded a sword in front of Jinrai and the others, which meant he had been hiding it from his supposed friends for who knows how long. Puffed. I'm not stupid enough to reveal my hand that easily. The look on his face said it all to me. If he was gonna do this, he wanted to throw every skill he had toward the effort. So you tricked both me and Masayuki. Tricked. Stop making it sound so mean. I just used you to get closer to the demon lord. You used us. Yeah. Masayuki was a helpful connection. Thanks to him, I've been granted a golden opportunity. Much appreciated. He was crossing swords with Benimaru, but Bernie was chatting with Jinrai like they were chilling at the bar. Benimaru, let me help you. No, I'll take care of him. Keep a close eye on our surroundings, Sir Rimuru. I was about to join the fray, but Benimaru stopped me. Trusting him to his word, I stepped up my vigilance. Even in the midst of this, Bernie and Jinrai kept talking. Masayuki was just a connection to you. Don't give me that crap. Come on, like you never thought of it that way. You know he's really not strong at all, right? He's just bluffing his way through life. That made the blood drain from Masayuki's face. Then Jinrai surprised me all over again. Well, so what? I don't care if he's bluffing or not, Masayuki's an incredible man. He's never failed us, not even once. Oh, he knew. I guess he saw the guy for what he was after all. Bernie, it seemed, wasn't a fan of this reaction. So you knew, and you still stuck with him. And you actually respect this total loser. Don't make me laugh. The irritation was glaring in his raised voice. But I was a really annoyed one here. What's so bad about bluffing? I'm bluffing my way through my life, too. Rimuru. Well, aren't I? I used to be an anonymous face at the office. I wasn't living in some world full of heroes and demon lords, but I still tried my best every day, because I had no other choice. And I wouldn't want oblivious idiots like you to laugh at me about it. Masayuki silently nodded. You. Jinrai glanced at me. Even he was looking a little confused now. I kept going. I mean, isn't it obvious? If I don't keep telling myself that what I'm doing is right, I'd never be able to be king of this realm or whatever. Fired up from shouting, I walked over to Masayuki's side slowly, so I didn't alarm Bernie while he was crossing swords with Benimaru. Everybody's doing their best just to keep living, you know. That's why I'm doing what I can to create a world where we can all live happily together. Masayuki's done a lot to help out with that. He's done so much for me. And I'm not gonna sit here and allow you to make fun of him. I stood in front of Masayuki as I admonished Bernie. Hearing that, Jinrai deeply nodded. So did Masayuki. Bernie, were you planning to use me like this from the beginning? He spoke directly to Bernie, his past panic now vanished without a trace. That's what I said, didn't I? Bernie replied, keeping his distance from Benimaru who, in turn, was in front of me, sizing him up. Under the effects of the holy field, Benimaru wasn't able to tap his full powers, so instead of trying to finish Bernie off in one fell swoop, he was taking more of a wait-and-see approach. Did Yuki order you to? Huh? Oh, right. Ha. Well, I could explain all that to you, but what's in it for me? He was still lording it over us, but at least he was still talking. Maybe, with the holy field in place, he had no doubts about his superior position. Negative. He has some sort of aim in mind. Data confirmed. There is another subject who is a member of Masayuki's party. After searching for data on this subject, her presence was not found in the labyrinth. However, there is no record of her ever leaving it. This is. Raphael was spitting out data with frightening speed. If I recall, there was one more member of Masayuki's gang Jiwoo. She was helping Bacchus smooth things over with the overcomers. Confirmed. A mass murder has occurred in the laboratory on floor 100. The subject Bacchus and several overcomers have been slaughtered. Their souls have been put in protective custody as an emergency measure. That's serious news. I wouldn't know about Bacchus, but each overcomer down there was supposed to be an over-A monster. It was really hard to believe she could kill so many of them in the tiny sliver of time since she left Masayuki's side. And that wasn't the only issue. If we weren't receiving any response from Juwu at the moment, that couldn't be ignored. I mean, Raphael was keeping tabs on every single thing going on in the labyrinth, wasn't he? If he couldn't find her inside the labyrinth, that meant Juwu was Mr. Tempest. That voice reached my mind a split second before the thought communication came along. The next moment, I used Mind Accelerate to slow down time for me. Did I respond first, or was it Raphael? Either way, it wound up saving my life. Die. A black flash of light closed in on my chest. Someone, probably Juwu, had taken a shot at me from what seemed to be a perfectly concealed hiding place. I had fallen on the spot and rolled away, putting aside all dignity and royal personage, and that helped me escape that deadly blade. It was all thanks to that warning one issued by Chloe, the little girl, who was wearing a mask. I had finally gotten my eyes on the assassin just now, and it was definitely Juwu. Her face was expressionless as always, but the atmosphere she presented was a total 180 from before. She was cold and sharpened. What a surprise. You've been tailing me in secret, Juwu said to Chloe. Her assassination attempt had failed, but Juwu wasn't upset about it. She pointed the black blade extending from the pendant in her hand to Chloe. If you're all going to fight out in the open like this, of course we're going to notice. You're a talented little girl, aren't you? I don't need you telling me that. And I'm not a little girl. With that, Chloe transformed into an adult woman. She took out Moonlight, the god-class rapier, and focused it straight at Juwu. Now we were graced with the presence of Chloe the hero, in all her masked glory. We had the perfect chance served up, and you just had to ruin it. Way to blow everything, Juwu. Bernie clicked his tongue at Juwu. I'm sorry, she calmly replied. I was trying to make sure nobody interfered with us, but I didn't realize there was this ambush going on. These two are definitely acquainted. They must both be assassins, quite skilled ones, sent by someone who wanted me dead. Both an even match for each other, to which meant Bernie might very well have an ultimate skill of his own. He glared at Benimaru as Juwu and Chloe raised their swords against each other. I was standing in front of Masayuki and Jinrai, protecting them as I saw what unfolded. Well, no helping it now. If we've blown our cover, there's no reason to hide our full abilities, either. I agree with you on that. We need to rub these enemies out as soon as we can. Bernie and Juwu focused their strength into the pendants that were the sources of their weapons. They reacted by shining even brighter than before. It looked familiar to me. Ah, so you're both Imperial Guardians, I said. Once he was fully equipped, Bernie nodded his assent, rolling his eyes as he did. Guess you've already started fighting my compatriots, huh? But you better not shuffle me in with the other Imperial Knights. He wasn't kidding, either. In fact, he seemed to be hiding some pretty extraordinary abilities. Enough chit-chat. Let's just kill them already. Juwu had a unique set of armor on as well. Its design was similar to what I saw before, but this set was jet black, with a sheen like lonely stars floating in the darkness. Legend-class armor, I assumed, and probably just a hair's width away from God-class. Bernie had the same gear. His armor was yellow in hue, but performance-wise, it was on par with Juwu. And I was sure the skills of the wearers were similar to the specs of their armor. Juwu, you feel that way about me, too? The forlorn question from Masayuki was greeted with a cold stare. Of course. I only protected you because that was my mission, Juwu replied. It was a frank, direct statement, nothing more to it than that. And if I could recognize it as such, I couldn't imagine how much it hurt Masayuki. Benimaru, watch out. She's super strong. I'm positive she's hiding an ultimate skill. An ultimate? You mean beyond a unique? Will it take more than hard work and perseverance for me to survive, Ben? Yeah, honestly, I don't think you can win. Goodness. If you put it that way, Sir Rimuru, it's all the more depressing. That was my pure, impartial evaluation, but Benimaru just gave it a wry grin. He still seemed pretty chill about this. Maybe he had some ideas of his own. Ultimate skills could only be defended with other ultimate skills. That was the absolute law of it, and I didn't think there was a way to get around that, but then again, this was the labyrinth. The same applied to Chloe. I mean, she's basically the most powerful hero in the world. She totally overwhelmed Vildor, even, and that was without an ultimate skill. Admittedly, that was more the out-of-control Chrono than Chloe, but either way, she's got tremendous skill in a fight. Plus, now she does have an ultimate skill, Yog-Sothoth, Lord of Time. I really didn't see her losing to Juwu. If there was any concern, it was over whether she could actually control Yog-Sothoth, I suppose. So just for extra insurance, I sent an order over to Raphael. Acknowledge. Beginning analysis of the enemy's possessed skill. That should work, right? Thus, for now, I decided to watch the battle unfold, preparing myself to step in at any time if need be.